Namaste, beautiful souls. How's everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Danny, physician astrologer. I hope everybody is having a magical day and living their best life. We are simulcasting on X, on YouTube, and Rumble. So I am not simulcasting on Facebook anymore. They keep taking the videos down after 30 days. And it's a big pain in the neck anyway to set up their live streams. You have to do it right at the perfect time. So today's topic is amazing. If anything, it's going to be very useful for you for the coming full moon that's happening late Friday night, early Saturday morning. And this moon is going to be in the constellation of Capricorn. If you're expecting me to say Aquarius, that is tropical astrology. It means the same place in the sky, but I like to do astrology using the actual constellations. So for me and for those beautiful souls that are here today watching that follow my channel, we're going to read this moon as a Capricorn moon. And I think it's really appropriate actually for everything that's coming up, because even with the moon in a different sign, that also means that the sun is in a different sign. So we are, I think they moved into Leo on the 21st. So we may actually be sharing it. But it is a Leo moon. The sun will move into Leo tomorrow, late tomorrow, early on Thursday. So a lot of shifts are coming. We are right at the cusp of a bunch of shifts. And what a lot of people like to look at this time frame as is a portal of energy. And we've talked about portals before, what they mean. They can be created simply by giving your attention to them. And a lot of people, a lot of folks are talking about the 8-8 Lionsgate portal. And it is indeed a portal. The number 8 and 8 holds significance. It is the full moon, so it also has some significance. And then being that the sun is transitioning from the energy of Cancer into the energy of Leo. We're going from water to fire this week. So this is a portal. If you're into the energetic shifts, if you're intuitive and you can feel that, then for sure this is a portal for you. And so the funny thing about portals is you can know they're there and you're going to unconsciously move through it, manifesting whatever it is those that have created the portal for you would like you to manifest. And you do it unconsciously. We do it all the time when we're not paying attention. So, my job as an astrologer and an intuitive soul, I mean, a lot of you can feel something coming, right? Like there's how the ground shakes a little bit before the big one, the wave kind of pulls away from the shore before the big tsunami. That's the space we're in right now. And hopefully you guys can feel it. Let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're lurking, because we're going to go deep into it today. So what I thought I would do is help you guys, help myself consciously go through this very powerful portal of the full moon, the 8-8 date, the Lion's Gate, and anything else, the heliacal rising of Sirius. Hello, this used to happen on the solstice back in the Egyptian times. So we have a lot of energies kind of piling on top of one another. And I want to help you. I want to help myself get through this portal consciously. And one of the most powerful ways to do this is a technique called an activation. So at the end of the astrology, I'm going to take you guys through an activation. In fact, this whole presentation is intended to be, in a sorts, an activation. But I'm going to use the access consciousness method, and I'm going to break that down for you. We're going to dissect what an activation is. It's not a meditation. Okay. And it's 1,000 times more powerful than any affirmation that you can say. And what we'll be doing in the activation is taking some of our limiting beliefs and uncreating them and destroying them. And then we will reaffirm and activate programs that are already there, programs that you remember, but you don't have access to because of your limiting beliefs. Now, not everybody's going to have the same limiting beliefs. What I believe might be different than what you believe, but somewhere inside of your subconscious programming, I promise you, you have a limiting belief somewhere. And what's so wonderful about finding them, accessing them, identifying them, and freeing them, when you pull those away, you automatically remember what is like your natural sovereign right to express. So what we'll do with the astrology part of it is I'll go through the entire full moon aspect by aspect, and I'll remind you of some of the possible limiting beliefs that might be present in your field. And if you resonate with one of them, even if it makes you a little bit angry, if you're resonating with it, then you've found one that you can work on and that you can release, and we can open up and activate for you. Now, I'm going to try something I've never done before with this streaming system. So, you guys will have to bear with me once I'm done with the astrology and we go into the activation. I have pre-recorded it with quality sound and original music and thoughtfully curated frequencies, you know, and I'm going to try and play it through my computer to you guys. I've tested it twice and recorded it, and it's worked. So fingers crossed we can with this particular software platform. So we should be able to do it. So I'm excited. I hope you guys want to do this with me. I hope you stick around till the end. It's about 12 minutes. So once I finish the astrology, we'll do the 12 minutes and then we'll just close the live stream out. Because, and I'll talk about this at the end of the teaching, is when you have more than one soul doing the same energetic work, it multiplies the power of it. So even if you don't have any limiting beliefs, which would be awesome, please participate anyway, because your participation will help the rest of us with our limiting beliefs. You can come into the activation with that intention to help everyone with their limiting beliefs. So long story short, if you can do this type of activity with me consciously as we move through the next few days, then you're going to activate yourself in a way that manifests an energy that's for you and for your highest good. So that is the intention of this entire presentation today. I hope you all enjoy it. I have a couple of amazing announcements, and then I'll check and see who's chatting with us. So I just finished a conversation this week with both Bella Alvarez and David Farrell of Quantum Planet Healing. It's a YouTube channel, and you guys actually pointed them out to me. So I reached out to them. We started talking. We knew immediately that we were connected from some other higher energy, because what we were talking about was lighting each other up. So when I would speak to them about 13 sign astrology, they started, all these synchronicities started popping off for them. And then when they started telling me what they were doing, many synchronicities started popping off for me. So we've gotten to know each other the way mystics do, doing readings on one another, and we're going to be collaborating. So Friday, I'm doing a recording with them for their channel, and on Monday, they're coming to visit us. So it'll be part of the Pulling Back the Curtain series of modern magicians, and I will introduce them to you, and we will ask questions about what they do, and I'm very, very excited for you to meet them. And then also, later on in the week, I'm pretty sure it's still happening. I have to reach out. But Logan with Decode Your Reality is also going to be a guest on Friday, 8/13. And we are going to do a teaching together on Phi. We might just riff about numbers. I might say one thing and then he'll just, blow us all away with his coding expertise. So I'm very excited to have him on the channel as well. So a lot of exciting things happening. How are you guys doing? Let's see who's here. I have Tracy Gore, hello. Thanks for coming. Galactic Frequencies with Danny Love. Oh, that's nice. Aloha from Hawaii. Lori is here. You're saying good morning. Oh, I guess where Lorna is, it's morning. Where we are, it's the afternoon. It's 4 p.m. Yep. Kake is here. Born Under a Wandering Star is feeling it. Yes, waves. Oh, we have a new moderator, you guys. I think it worked out that way, yeah. Lady Spellbreaker. Everyone give Lady Spellbreaker a round of applause. She is a new moderator. She actually has a channel too, so click on her thing and go check out her posts and her channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And of course, Lori and Desiree, you guys were my first, so of course I love you guys. Sonia's here. Jackie's here. All right. Feel free to say hi, guys. And also, while I am presenting this material to you, I encourage you to put questions in there. If I don't look at the chat while I'm doing it, I will peek in when we have a break and see if you guys have any questions about what we're actually, it's really actually quite simple what I'm going to share with you. But I always find it's nice to like break it down and really understand it in order to use it properly. Let's see, Teresa's here. Yeah, slogan is awesome. Dr. Juan made it as well. I watched your videos, Dr. Juan, about sidereal versus tropical astrology. I think you're onto something there. And I support your thoughts on that very much. All right, Michelle's here. So good to see you guys. Thank you all for coming. I'm really excited to be here. I just feel so happy and grateful that you all can join me. So great. Yeah, we are about to enter in some very powerful energy. And we also have, on top of that, this grand Earth kite going on with Pluto, Uranus, and Mars. And then at the top of that is Saturn and Neptune together. So we're going to talk about that. The energy of Venus and Jupiter together conjunct Sirius. That is in a nice juicy trine to the North Node, which is now newly in Aquarius. And then Mercury stationing direct is opposing Pluto during this full moon. So a lot of things are going to be kind of coming to the head in the next little bit. All right. Christine Yan is here. Okay, cool. All right, we have 25. I'm going to share my screen, and then I want to take you to the sky because I want to show you where the moon is. I want to prove it to you that it's in Capricorn for the full moon and that the sun is in Leo. And I like to use stellarium-web.org. It's very useful. It's very helpful. I'm going to keep the sound off for now on that. But I have to remember to click the sound on when we watch the video later, when we listen to it together. All right, here is Stellarium. This is about the time of the full moon coming up on Friday night, early Saturday morning. And this will be, I guess this will be right before dawn. So the sun will be down here underneath the horizon. And then we will have the moon right here setting. So what's so nice about this program is, it gives you the sky. You can see Orion right there. But what are these constellations? Let's put the lines in. That makes it easier. Sometimes the art is good too. We'll take out the atmosphere. Look at that. If you can roll in and zoom in, and there's the full moon right there in Capricorn. So we'll talk about what that energy means. We're not over here yet. That'll be next month. And then we have Saturn in Pisces, conjunct Neptune. If we zoom in a little, we can see Neptune. And then you'll have to actually, with this program, search for Pluto, which is pretty close to the moon. In fact, right after the full moon, I think the moon will go over Pluto. Did that not work? Pluto. Distant object asteroid. Okay, yeah. So the moon will probably Thursday night, Friday, will be passing over Pluto right here. So a nice little jolt of intensity on top of everything else that's going to be going on. And then we have Saturn and Neptune here. And then let me zoom out a little bit. Let me advance the sky as well, because with this program, you can advance the time. I wanted to show you Sirius rising. And there it is. So in the chart, you'll see that in Gemini, Venus and Jupiter are conjunct Sirius. But when you're talking about a star that's not on the ecliptic, it's actually more of a parallel relationship rather than a conjunction. And it changes depending on what latitude you are. So it's, for precision's sake, I only mention that. The way you can find Sirius is to look for Orion and follow the 3 stars in the belt, and it will take you to the brightest star. And that's Canis Major. So look at what the date is. It's 8-9. And we know we're going through precession because this used to occur on the summer equinox or the summer solstice when the sun stands still. And right after the summer solstice was when the Nile would flood. And then here we have Venus and Jupiter together. Their conjunction perfects on August 12th and 13th, which is next week. So once we have this moon, then we have this amazing energy that's coming in, that's geometric, that's mathematical, that's abundant, that's Gemini, Venus, and Jupiter. It's very, very nice. I think we'll enjoy it. And then, of course, let me advance the day. Let's get the sun to rise. And you can see here that we are right there in between Cancer and Leo, and considered just at the beginning of Leo. So that's our sky. And this is 8-9. And I'm not making this up. This isn't Vedic either. This is just taking these archetypes, these ancient archetypes that live in our mind and in our DNA, and using the actual sky above. And I think it connects to our souls a lot on a much deeper level than if we just use the Gregorian calendar. Like if someone just told you a date and it didn't align with anything astronomical, it would just be numerological. This particular time frame for this full moon is not only a date, but it's also numerological. It also has some very interesting stellar alignments. One thing I did want to mention real quick before we get into the presentation, this is coming up so fast, but I'm really excited about it. I'm getting stoked about this because they now have this place where you can go register if you're not registered already for the International Sidereal Astrology Association. Their launch event is on September 27th. It's a Saturday from 10 to 3, and you can see I'm one of the keynote speakers. They even have a little itinerary here, and you can register just by clicking on this. It's totally free. So you see, we'll have Athen. He's going to talk about true sky sidereal. Then we'll have Gary O'Toole, the physical appearance of sidereal signs. And then I will be talking about the golden phoenix angle and other useful things you can do with constellational astrology. So there it is. I hope you guys will come to that. I'm real excited about supporting these guys. It just feels like it's time for us to kind of step out in the professional world and stake our claim, so to speak. All right, let me get into the presentation. So the August full moon. All right, with the bonus activation at the end. So do stick around because this should be pretty cool. If it doesn't work, I have a pre-recorded version of it that is on the YouTube channel, but it's in the members only section. Some of you have already listened to it. And I encourage you to listen to it again or stay to the end and do it with us. Because I think after you see this presentation, it'll mean even more. And there's nothing wrong with getting rid of limiting beliefs more than once. So let me grab my notes here and we will get into this. All right, yesterday was my birthday. I had a great day. We went to the beach. Yes, I did a little day drinking. We had a wonderful dinner. It was just a lot of fun. Felt good to be, kind of with people and out in nature. All right, so we'll do the teaching. We'll do full moon astrology, and then we'll do the activation. At the end of this presentation, you will know what an activation is and what it means. You will be able to identify some of your own limiting beliefs through the collective astrology that we're studying. You'll have a full awareness of the Lion's Gate full moon and the Sirius Gateway energy. And we will clear, release, and activate your own field in preparation for this coming portal. So what is an activation? Well, it's an energetic reset that clears, blocks, and awakens dormant codes that you already have. It's deeper than affirmations because all that does is repeat surface level beliefs, surface level loops, surface level feedback code. That's what those affirmations do. Like, I am so wealthy, I don't have to work. Of course, you can say that over and over and over again, but you're not getting at that core belief that's not allowing you to be so wealthy you don't have to work or you work for fun. It goes beyond meditation because it quiets your mind, but meditation doesn't rewire you, not the way activations do. Meditations rewire your endocrine system and your nervous system, but activations rewire your energetic grid, which is what comes before the body. It works through language, imagery, breath, and intent. It engages the body, the field, and the subconscious simultaneously. and it rewires your system through vibrational commands. So you don't just feel better after an activation, you become more you. And it's really fun because you'll have synchronicities afterwards, a lot of synchronicities within the first 72 hours, and then things will start to change around you. It's very, very interesting. How does it work? Well, it's a spiritual technology that some people say is magic or woo-woo or just energy, but it speaks to the quantum field, the ether, the foam, the space of potentials around us where energy is fluid, where time is circular. It bypasses the mind and reaches the soul-body interference. So I've already done this activation on you guys when I recorded it, like before, as it was coming out. I already did it on all of you that were listening. So we're just kind of bringing it to manifestation by coming together today to do it. So we use frequency to rewrite energetic imprints. We collapse polarity, distortion, and false timelines. And we work across lifetimes, dimensions, DNA. It commands energy to shift with vibrational precision, and it opens space for your highest self to land. So why would we want to do this? Well, if you're not excited about it already, an activation can clear patterns that you can't talk or think your way out of. It's literally you just sit and receive it. Sometimes you'll be asked to repeat something or to say something in your mind, but it shifts the unconscious beliefs that block your expansion. It resets your nervous system to your natural state and dissolves inherited limitations and energetic contracts. This will align the body, the field, and the soul in real time, creates opening for downloads and guidance, and restores your freedom to choose again. So why would we want to do this during a full moon? Well, it's already an astronomical, astrological, energetic portal. It is a portal that you can use to let go. What do we do at the full moon? We harvest, we reap what we sow, we release what we don't need. And that's precisely what this activation is going to do. Release limiting beliefs and activate what's already there. So the moon's light is going to reveal what's ready to be released, and we'll see that through the astrology. And these are the low-hanging fruit that we can literally pick off for transformation and closure. You guys are ready for this. I'm ready for it. Emotional truth will surface and it will clear with ease. Like, this shouldn't be painful. You should have tears of laughter, if anything, if you're done with this. It supports letting go at the cellular level and the energetic level, and it syncs with Earth's natural rhythms of release. This is what the moon does: swells and pops and releases and wanes away. So we'll enhance clarity, intuition, and emotional healing. We'll open space for integration and embodiment. All right, so what do we do first? Well, we have to identify these limiting beliefs because we're going to put it into, for lack of a better word, the spell cast. We're going to spell it out. We're going to observe what's surfacing emotionally, physically, or energetically, especially what feels stuck, reactive, or repetitive. So if something I'm saying about any of these aspects that we're seeing with the full moon resonates with you, like, oh, yep, that's me, just make a note of that. I used a few examples in the recording that I felt were important. So not all of them will be used, but that's okay. Whatever resonated with you can bring in with you. You're going to track the themes activated by the transits, lunar phases, and planetary alignments to locate where soul resistance is encoded. And that's basically how getting to know yourself through your astrology code works. It's literally what it is. You track these patterns, you see where you have your repetitive loops and patterns and reactions, and you say, okay, there it is. That's what are the archetypes telling me? This is my limiting belief. So you listen for the hidden story behind that discomfort. What is the chart revealing? What is what the conscious mind may not yet see? All right, so you're going to hear a command in the activation. We're going to destroy, meaning remove the structure of the limitation, and uncreate. Two of the most powerful words you can use in a meditation or an activation or a prayer. Destroy and uncreate, remove and dissolve the structure and the foundation that held it in place. So it's a command, it's a declaration, and it is a sacred agreement. So everywhere I've made this belief real, I now destroy and uncreate it across all time, space, dimension, and reality. Powerful statement. Take a screenshot, memorize that, because that's precisely what we're going to do to everything that's holding, or some of the things that are holding us back right now. So as we move through this portal, we will be less affected by what those who might want to control us would have us do, and be more affected by what's better for our highest purpose and highest path. So here's the statement. I release insert limiting belief so that I may insert desired result. And so the activation part of it is the desired result. So everywhere I've made this belief real, I now destroy and uncreate it across all time, space, dimension, and reality. And then there's this fun statement that is extremely powerful, makes no sense. The first time I heard it, I was like, what are they saying? But I'm going to share it with you, and I'm going to break it down, and I'll be giving credit to the people that invented this, but I really love using this. The statement is good, bad, right, wrong, all nine, pods, pox, shorts, boys, povads, and beyond. So we're going to break this statement down. Why do we say this statement? The good and the bad. So this clears the judgment and the polarity, locking the belief in place. It dissolves right versus wrong, good versus bad, and frees the energy from duality. Once there's no judgment, the pattern can release. So it's a really good example of this. Well, I'm going to share something with you guys. When it came down to the vaccine situation, I had to provide documentation of that happened for me. Now, I didn't want to get the vaccine, but I also didn't want to fight the hospital. So I had to battle with myself. Do I want to go down the road of fighting with the hospital, or do I want to go down the road of, kind of fudging a document? I went down the road where you fudge the document, because my beef wasn't with the hospital. They just needed to prove that I was good, and I wasn't going to get the shot, and I wasn't going to lose my license over it. So, I mean, if it gets me in trouble, it gets me in trouble. But, for me, I had to get over that hurdle of, feeling bad about protecting myself, if that makes any sense. So it was nuanced, right? You can tell it's a very nuanced situation. I made the best decision for me at the time. It is what it is. But having to judge the duality of it, I just let it go. I said, okay, well, I'm going to do what I have to do to live the life I need to live right now. And once I did that, it's almost as if everything that was COVID dissolved from my life in general. So once I kind of got over a limiting belief, then all of a sudden it wasn't a problem. It's that statement where, like, once a matter is understood, it no longer causes a conflict. I think Nietzsche said something like that. Can't remember exactly what he said, but this is it. This is the good and the bad. And so when you hear this statement, after you are asked to uncreate and destroy a limiting belief, it's also asking you to clear the judgment and the polarity around it. So then there's the right and the wrong. So then we need to release the need to be right, or the fear of being wrong, collapsing the ego's grip on control, perfection, and proving. This creates a space for choice without self-punishment. So think about this, right? I want to do sidereal astrology. Maybe you want to do tropical astrology. Maybe I know I'm right, and I don't want to be wrong about that. So I'm going to fight you. Well, what the limiting belief statement is asking me to do is to say, okay, we're both right. Like, I don't care. I don't care if that's what you believe and you think you're right and you think I'm wrong. I don't care anymore. I know in my world, in my life, in my simulation, I'm right. Constellational astrology is the jam. So, but that's okay, because people can go over there and do their thing and it doesn't matter to me. So the right and the wrong are released. So there's no, there's no retribution from having that opinion, because it's literally just my opinion and it really doesn't matter, right? So it creates space for choice without punishing yourself for having that opinion or having to go to battle. So the right and the wrong releases you from the battle. Then there's the all nine. And this refers to the 9 energetic layers that hold a limitation in place. That's right. You don't just have physical, mental, and emotional. You also have spiritual, ancestral, karmic, cellular, collective, and unconscious. Okay. So when we say the all 9, we are hitting all those layers. It's basically the 9 chakras, right? The soul star chakra all the way down to the earth star chakra. This is what I see when I hear all 9. It's the entire system, energetic system or grid that anchors us here on earth and connects us directly to source. So all 9 clears the entire grid. So now you can get rid of the good and the bad. You can get rid of being right or wrong, and now you can activate it through all 9 levels of your energetic system. The pods and the pocs. So sometimes points of destruction, this clears the exact moment you energetically locked in the limitation, the reaction, or the trauma. So I bet a bunch of you do this. Maybe you're at work and maybe somebody says something to you and you react and then you say something, and that's the end of it, like in the physical world, but in your brain, it just goes on over and over. It like bounces around your head for about 6 more hours. And then you have to call people and say, listen to this conversation. What did you think of this? To get like feedback on it. This is a limiting belief. This is a pattern. When it bounces around your head and you have to bring other people in to help you mirror it back to yourself. So the point of destruction is to clear that exact moment, to change the past. So you destroy whatever moment puts you in that loop. Whatever caused the trauma, whatever caused the reaction, you literally clear it. And then you go to the point of creation, which clears the moment you decided, concluded, or agreed to make that limitation real. And what does that mean? Like, oh, I'm not smart enough. I'm not quick enough when I talk. I'm not a good arguer. I should have stood up for myself. So you are going to clear the moment where you decided that you're not a good person to stand up for yourself. Point of destruction, point of creation, pod and poc. So this reminds me of the Ouroboros, right? Like the snake eating its tail, those patterns that God, sometimes we kick ourselves because we know we have those reactions and we don't know where to get at them. And activations are like literally the number one way for me. I love them to break these silly loops because, as you get older, you just don't have time to waste your mind on these things. So to have pod and pox involved is awesome. All right, now the shorts and the boys. So shorts interrupt looping patterns and reactive behaviors that keep the limitation repeating on autopilot. Sometimes you don't even know why your mind keeps thinking about something. So we're just going to short circuit it. With one word, we're not even going to ask permission. We're just going to stop it. Just going to stop. And then BOYS stands for barriers, orders, yokes, and subliminals. So this is basically those energetic agreements, clearing the moment you decided, concluded, or agreed to make your limitation real. Then we have POVADs, which is points of view you are avoiding and defending. Okay, so sometimes we like our reactions. We're okay with how we feel about things. This is my boundary. I'm going to stand right here, keeping a limitation alive by locking you into fixed beliefs, unconscious agendas, emotional defenses, even when you're deeply ready to change. Like I know so many of us want to become the perfect version of ourselves. And we still have these silly things that happen, these things that get us emotional and get us reactionary, and we feel things. And it's okay. It's okay to feel that. It's okay. It's not a shameful thing to feel something. Just understand that you're doing it and have an awareness of it, because this is much more potent when you can do that. And then finally, the beyonds. This is moments of shock, trauma, or overwhelm that freeze all energy in place. So this phrase catches the energy that can release the heaviness that feels too big, too much, too impossible. Like let's say your heart and your mind are very much into something that's happening overseas or in another country or in somebody else's family. It's really not, you're not in it, you're not involved in it, but you are in it, because you're watching it, you're giving it your attention. I've been there before. And there's nothing you can do. Like you see the destruction, you see the death, you see the horrors, and you just feel like there's nothing you can do about it, right? The beyonds is what this covers. So that even the things that you think you can't control or that are too impossible to resolve, it comes in, it assists you with the beyonds. All right, so I think that's the statement. So you're going to hear this several times: good, bad, right, wrong, all nine, pod, pocs, shorts, boys, povids, and beyonds. And it's basically covering all of it. It's just getting into your code, it's getting into your etheric structure and clearing anything that would prevent you from activating your true self. So, just one more point on this. As we do this together, now this is a pre-recorded with my voice, but I'm going to sit here and do it with you guys at the end. It's a collective intention. It amplifies the frequency far beyond any individual effort. So our shared presence creates a living energetic field of coherence. And there's studies about this, that synchronized meditation shift measurable outcomes, and healing becomes exponential when done in resonance with others. And so I don't know what the magic number is, but I've heard, in biblical scripture that when one or two or more of you are in collective prayer for an intention, I will be there, meaning that source will be present with us, even if there's just one of you doing this with me. So hopefully you guys will all stay until the end. All right. So I just put this little meme in here. Witches call it spells, Christians call it prayer, spiritualists call it manifestation, atheists call it the placebo effect, scientists call it quantum physics. Everyone's arguing over its name, but no one is denying its existence. And this is precisely what I wanted to tap into this evening. So this is the Access Consciousness. You can go check out these folks. They can, if you want to learn more about what I just taught you, it's all basically comes from this teaching here. All right. Let me get into the astrology with you. This is really, really potent stuff. Here's our moon and sun. We saw this in the sky. Moon in Capricorn, sun in early Leo. So this is Leo's. Leo is radiance. It's the sun's house. It's like fun, it's joy, it's romance, it's heart. It's like just full of joy and love. I just love Leo energy so much. This is going to bring, with the moon over there reflecting the sun's leonine light, it's shining on the structures of your life, because Capricorn is all about structure and things and the foundation. And what this is going to reveal to us is where you've built out of fear instead of authenticity. What have you built to quote unquote protect yourself instead of building for what's truly you? When your legacy becomes an obligation, and where leadership has been shaped by survival instead of sovereignty. So that's what it's about here. It's about standing up and coming out, being who you are supposed to be. And if you're not resonating with that, then there's something that you've done out of fear, out of a limiting belief. And this Leo sun is so courageous. It's calling us to rise, to remember our creative authority, and to illuminate what no longer belongs. This is a polarity that brings reckoning between duty and desire, between performance and truth. You're not here to hold it all together. You're here to shine from the core of who you are. And so some of the things we can think about for this might be the pressure to lead from perfection. Who feels like they've got to do it perfectly? You can let that shit go. Ancestral survival patterns masked as responsibility. Well, people depend on me to do it, so I need to be there to do it. You can also let that go, brothers and sisters. Guilt around choosing joy over duty. So you want to do something fun? Oh, but you have all these things that you have to do. Well, ask for help and go have fun. Yes, you can actually do that. Another one might be internalized systems of success rooted in fear. So you have to achieve, you have to win, you have to be the best. No, you don't. No, you don't. You just have to be your best. And that's all that matters. Now we have the North Node in Aquarius, and we have the South Node in Leo. This is our evolutionary path, right? So they're always opposing each other. There's always a tension. South Node in Leo is bringing forward the shadow of egoic leadership, craving recognition, the old story that your worth is tied to performance or what it is you're doing. The North Node in Aquarius points us towards a new way of belonging, one rooted in collaboration, innovation, and cosmic alignment rather than applause. I'm feeling this. I'm having all kinds of behind the scenes conversations with people that are leveling me up on many different ways. I hope you guys are doing this too. Uh, this axis asks you, are you creating to be seen or are you creating in service to the future? And it's okay, whichever one you're doing. I mean, which one's triggering you? Do you want to be seen and you're not being seen? You're feeling a little triggered right now? That's okay. This could be one of the limiting beliefs you get to release. So it could be the need for validation and visibility just to feel worthy. It could be creative self sabotage born from comparing yourself to others. This can be over identification with past roles or personas. I'm a doctor. I have to be a doctor. I have to follow all the rules. I have to do precisely the right thing. Maybe I don't. um, Fear of becoming irrelevant or unseen, right? That's a big one. All right. We also have Venus and Jupiter making a very nice trine to our North Node. And they're conjunct in Gemini, parallel star Sirius, conjunct at 12 and 13 degrees. This is just such an amazing, juicy combination right here. It's harmonious. Trines are always a flow of energy. This offers support, insight, and expansion onto your evolutionary path. So you can open up into the energies of learning something new, teaching something new, finding value in knowledge, value in learning spirituality. Breaking down an activation like I just did for you is literally Venus and Jupiter in Gemini. So your joy is intelligent here. Your curiosity is sacred. Your voice is the bridge to the collective. This is a time right now to share what lights you up, not for approval, but for connection. Because when you speak what you love, people will listen right now. People are hungry for new knowledge. All right, next we have Mercury, who will station direct the very next day. So Mercury's slowing down and will stop and then go back the other way. Doing a little dance around this aspect to retrograde Pluto in Capricorn in opposition. Anytime a planet is in opposition to Pluto, you can expect a purging, a burping up, or an expelling of something. And whatever planet's involved is usually the deal. Mercury is knowledge and information. So it could be even messages from beyond, true messages, true channeling, something like that. But something truthful is coming out here on around the 8th, 9th, and the 10th of August. This is an excavation kind of. Think of like Pluto goes into the underworld and digs stuff up, and what he finds is a truth gem from Mercury. So Mercury in Cancer pulls memory from the roots, the emotions, the conversations. Opposing Pluto means these messages may not come gently, right? They might actually hurt. They might not feel so good. But it's going to reveal what's been hidden, repressed, denied, especially within family systems, emotional programming, and inherited belief. Well, look at this. So you guys get to go through this consciously with an activation. I encourage you to repeat it during the full moon, especially if anything does come up for you around family or ancestral patterns. Work on releasing that. Work on letting that go. Work on diminishing the importance of it so that you can activate the true power of what that truth is trying to show you. So there's a purge of mental distortion and also emotional entanglement, which is ultimately good for us. So we can release internalized control through silence or over explanation. We can release the fear of emotional honesty or saying the wrong thing, because as long as you're honest, it's the right thing. I mean, it really is. You're always forgiven. You're always forgiven. Ancestral stories may have been passed down through unspoken agreements. So you may be, feel entitled or emboldened or held down by these beliefs in some way. And also mental looping tied to past emotional wounds. Now, that's not the only thing Pluto's doing. Pluto is also in this T-square to Black Moon Lilith in Virgo. and Chiron in Pisces. These are notoriously tough energies, already opposing one another. Chiron being our wounded healer teacher, hanging out in Pisces, literally disconnected from spirit, lost, wandering in the mist, looking for connection, while the banished creative forces are also searching around in the mist, looking for connection to matter and the real world. And then Pluto's bringing a jolt of Mercury truth out into the open. So these two find each other, but in a way that may not be so nice if there's ego involved. That's the key distinction here. If we want to use this square constructively, then we need to let our ego have a seat and literally let go of that limiting belief that's hanging onto your ego, because this can be incredibly healing and powerful. Pluto's a powerful planet. Black moon Lilith is a powerful energy. And Chiron is your greatness. And you can build something beautiful here with this new truth that comes in. So what you're going to be able to release here is shame around power, knowing, or rage. So in other words, the banishment wound, that has been very strong in my field for sure. So if you feel that, if you feel the banishment wound, this is a great opportunity to stare it in the face and use it constructively. There's also a fear here we can release of being exiled, discredited, or punished for our truth, right? The truth that I'm a doctor and I don't want the vaccine. Thanks. The urge to overcorrect, over-purify, or even over-sacrifice, right? That's very much a Virgo tendency to kind of overgive. Or soul contracts that stay small, silent, or safe. So this is such a great energy for breaking out of something that's holding you down. There's also a nice aspect to Chiron and Lilith, and it is asteroid Lilith herself from Aquarius, sharing the same sign as the North Node. And so you could say, too, that Venus and Jupiter in a trine to that energy. And actually, just a few days ago, Venus was in a trine to Lilith. So this is, so while that T-square may bring pain and rupture and truth and, a realization and growth, the sextile trine here that asteroid Lilith is doing to our Chiron and to our Black Moon Lilith brings repair. It's literally like the cosmic wild woman, the visionary outcast, the one who sees beyond the system, in harmonious aspect to the greatest healer ever and the greatest source of your creative power. So you can bring coherence to the fragmentation using this Lilith energy. So this is weaving the witch, the healer, and the star-born rebel into one clear frequency. And so rather than reacting from pain or rage when that rupture occurs, this supports an aligned embodiment. Let the grief out, let the crying and the wailing out, but that can be a very uplifting and energizing energy too. It'll open up the nervous system to receive full spectrum, the feminine knowing of intuition, somatic knowing, futuristic and ancient knowledge. This is the regeneration of the sacred feminine into your own inner council. So this is a great configuration to release any internal division between your intuition, intellect, and body. So mind, body, and spirit. So you can release that division between those. You can release old patterns of collapse, self-erasure, or spiritual rebellion. You can release the fear of being too unconventional, too emotional, or too far ahead of your time. And you can also release the fragmentation within the feminine self. So this is, these are all the same energy. These are all just newer asteroids. All right. And then finally, I think the last aspect, we're going to do this aspect, and then I'm going to talk about the grand kite with Mars. Asteroid Lilith is making a square to Uranus. So this is another square we have to deal with. If the, Black Moon, Pluto, and Saturn and Chiron weren't enough, this can also be a jolt to the body system, because you've got Uranus in Taurus, and we've talked about this. Uranus will be in Taurus for another 7 years, 6 or 7 years. It is conjunct the Pleiades, which is in the constellation of Taurus, in a square configuration to asteroid Lilith in Aquarius. Now, Uranus rules Aquarius, so this can be simpatico energy, but it's a square, so it's typically an uncomfortable energy. And it can feel like a jolt because I feel like asteroid Lilith has a lot of Uranian qualities anyway. So expect the unexpected with this, right? There's the frequency of the cosmic feminine, and then there's the frequency of the shaking ground of Uranus. So something in you is being rewired. It could feel like an intuitive upgrade that feels like a disruption before it becomes clear. So it's a break in the pattern. And what you can do when you see a break in your pattern coming is to go ahead and start breaking patterns anyway. Start scanning what's going on in your life. Is there something I can change? Something that I could just get rid of and not worry about? That way, if anything like this does come into your field, its frequency isn't as intense. You can release resistance to intuitive flashes that challenge the status quo. You can release conditioning here around how feminine power must look or behave. You can release fear of destabilization when stepping into greater embodiment. And you can decrease attachments to external approval or comfort zones. All right, so that's that. And then finally, this is the big one. This is the one that's been with us for a while. So we're already sailing on this. This started like the 27th, I want to say. So it's a like 2 or 3 week configuration. And my colleagues did a great job of breaking this down. They spent about an hour and a half on it. You can go to One Sky Astrology with Michael Hardigan and watch that panel. Very good energy. So Mars is the root, and Mars is the warrior. Mars is our sacred masculine energy. It's the do or die energy. It's the fight or fornicate energy. It does whatever the creator wants him to do with inspired action. Okay. So he is down there in Virgo, ready to start from the bottom up and do whatever it takes. And being in a grand trine with Pluto, Capricorn, who's destroying the structures and the foundations of that which no longer serve us. And then Uranus shaking the very ground that we stand on with new light codes. Okay. This is literally our world changing around us. I mean, picture yourself inside, maybe inside a snow globe, but instead of the snow being inside your globe, all the snow is outside of your globe. And all of creation and everything is just in chaos and changing around you. Eventually it will settle. But with these three, that's their work. That's what they're there to do. They're there to excavate so that the light codes that are coming in with Uranus and with the Neptune energy have a place to land. And so we just have to kind of brace ourselves, not have too many expectations, be nimble, be ready for things to change and to be okay with it. You'll need to release over control of the outcome here through micromanagement. That's a wonderful thing to release when we have this grand trine kite. We need to release perfectionism as a mask for the fear of failure. Okay. It's not perfect, but that's what's beautiful about it. We need to release avoidance of grounded action due to overwhelm or spiritual bypass. And we need to release the fear of dissolving old structures because you don't get to see the new one. So this is so interesting. This is just kind of a hold on tight kind of a kite. It can actually be fun because Mercury is making an angle to the major axis of this kite, Mars to Saturn and Neptune. And so it's coming from Cancer. It's stationing direct. So it's slowing down, stopping, and then going back the other way. So it's taking a moment to check in with these two characters across from one another, a moment to sort of revisit and review. I think personally, it's a path of integration, that retrograde to forward motion, speaking from the emotional waters of Cancer, from the memory, from the ancestral knowing. It provides a support for turning insight into action gently and intentionally with discernment. So you can see this chaos. You don't have to react. You can respond. And when you do respond, through mindfulness, which I think is what Mercury is trying to remind us here, then we will create. We will create out of alignment. And there's no hurry, there's no rush. It's all in divine timing. So it's a stream of visionary structure. And I would say let your dreams in here. Work with your dreams, work with your intuition, especially when chaos surrounds you. Just sort of let it, okay, this is what it is. Take a deep breath, examine it, respond to it. Don't react to it, respond to it. And then you'll be able to release emotional overwhelm that blocks and clears action. You'll be able to release the belief that spiritual insight cannot be integrated. You'll be able to release the fear of acting before you're fully healed. And you'll be able to release old family patterns around communication and avoidance. So we have a ton of things that we could potentially work on. And like I said, some of them I did repeat in the activation that we're going to do. So before I get into the actual activation, I just want to check in with you guys on the chat. So if you have any questions or thoughts, please type them in. I wanted to get you guys excited about this. So Stellar Foundations. Very soon I'm going to release a new video, just kind of to let you guys know where we are with Stellar Foundations. I launched the inaugural group in January of this past year, and it's been such an incredibly wonderful initiating process for me as a teacher, and watching students go through it twice now to see the transformation. It's if you come to every office hours and you do the work in the modules, you're going to become an astrologer. Like, you won't even be able to help it. But you have to be interested in it. You have to have the drive. You have to want to do this. But I do absolutely love guiding these groups. And so I will be doing my third session in the fall. We're going to start on September 8th. Lots of great things are going to come with this. So I encourage you, if this is something that resonates with you, to listen to the video that's coming out in a couple days about it, because I will list everything that's in there. It's basically like inviting you to a phone call so I can tell you what this program is about. And I don't want to spend a whole live stream video in the middle of a teaching telling you what's in it. There's so much there. So I will do that. I'll have that video out for you guys in a couple days, but do think about it. I did put the link below if you want to check out the website, the old videos on there, so you can listen to me right before I'm about to start this new group, and you can see the difference between how I'm thinking and feeling, and compare it with the new video that I put out. And then also don't forget to register for the astrology panel, the conference. So let me step out of this. I just want to check in with you guys. All right. How was that? Does that make sense? I know you guys have heard the word activation before. Some of you already knew all of that, so I apologize if that was repeat information for you. But I think it's always nice to have something broken down. So, and especially if you're just doing activations because somebody said it's cool, at least now you know the components of it and what we're doing, and that it is basically a prayer or an intention setting. But because we're using certain language that taps into energy in the subconscious, it works so much better than an affirmation. So let's see. Uh-oh. Kake had to leave. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you can listen to the replay. All right. Lady Spellbreaker says, Mother Earth is shaking the ground all right. Oh, yeah. That earthquake was crazy. But you know what? I think with all eyes on that, because of the time of day that it happened, that maybe we set some sort of collective intention for it to not be as bad as they were saying, because it didn't seem like it was as bad as an 8.8 earthquake would be. Oh, Lady Spellberger, thank you for putting the link to the ISAA. Oh, no, to the astrology panel. Yeah, so this link, guys, is for the Grand Trine Kite. A couple of my colleagues got together and did like an hour and a half on it. Yep, Grand Kite energy. Miss Honeybee. Yeah, peaceful healing energy to all. Thank you so much. Our ego does need to take a seat for sure. Truth and fact are two different things. Factual truth has integrity, and evidence, whether the evidence is physical Spiritual hand pink waving. Oh, those were probably supposed to be emojis. Thank you, Miss Honeybee. Yeah, I like to bring beautiful energy to the table because what else are you gonna do? You're gonna be upset and angry? Nah, we ain't got time for that. We need to be happy. All right, let's see. Oh, Teresa says we have all 100s. Okay. Bases and beyonds, and ask the universe for all the possibilities. Okay, cool. I did the old version. One love. We are all I am. Eight. Let's see. Man, Miss Honeybee's dropping the wisdom today. Thank you so much for being here. Awesome, awesome. Good, good. Okay, wow, chatty crowd. Cool, cool. Okay, guys, are y'all ready for that activation? Let me just give you kind of like a little primer. So I think what we'll do is I need to know immediately in the chat if there's a problem. I will be looking, but I'm also going to be listening with you with my headphones. So if it sounds messed up or it doesn't sound good to you, let me know. And what I will do is I will stop it and we will go ahead and I'll just go ahead and publish from the members only the actual activation. But I really wanted to try and do this live so that we're all doing it. So what you want to do is just kind of get comfy, just hang out, close your eyes, soften your gaze if you want to, put your hand on your heart, just start breathing, and you're just going to listen to the recording. And I will be sitting right here. And as soon as it's done, I'll pop back on and check and see who's still here, and we'll close it out and say goodnight. So let me go to it. Let me open it up so it's ready. There it is. All right. And then I will share the screen. Fingers crossed. We're going to share system audio. I'm going to mute my mic. I'll see you guys on the other side. Namaste, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Lionsgate Full Moon Sirius Gate activation. Begin by finding your stillness. Let your body settle and your breath deepen. Let's inhale and exhale together a few times. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale again. And exhale. One more deep inhale. And hold it for just a few heartbeats. And release the breath. Let your awareness gather beneath your skin. Feel the weight of your bones, the rhythm of your breath. Feel the memory that lives in your body. You are not just here, you are also now. And as we settle into a space of relaxation, envision the night sky above you, just before dawn. And as you look to the west, the glowing moon is setting, reflecting the wisdom of time, ancestry, and sacred structure. She asks, what legacy are you building? In the east, Just before dawn, the star Sirius rises in the east, parallel to Jupiter and Venus. Sirius, the star of remembrance, the light you knew before forgetting. Venus, the star of the morning, and Jupiter, the expansive planet of spiritual expansion, further color this light, activating the joy and the pleasure of expansive remembrance. Somewhere in the darkness, Black Moon Lilith and Asteroid Lilith with Chiron and Pluto create a quantum web, supporting the ancient truths the world once silenced. As you breathe, imagine the light of star Sirius, blue, white, crystalline, fourth-dimensional light streaming into your crown chakra, cleansing the stories you've outgrown, clearing every contract made from fear or from silence, unbinding the patterns that kept your voice small. Let it dissolve as you uncreate and destroy that which has binded you. Under the light of this full moon, the sun illuminates your sovereignty. The moon calls forth the legacy you are meant to build. We will now release together the fear of being seen in our full radiance, the belief that leadership requires suppression of emotion, the inherited guilt around claiming power, and the pressure to follow outdated rules of success. With your permission, we uncreate and destroy all these limitations across time, space, dimensions, and reality. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, povads, and beyond. Let every wall fall. Let every code activate. Let every truth rise. Feel the moon behind you and the sun before you. One carries the weight of memory, the other the fire of your future. Let the moon drain from your spine what no longer supports you. Let the sun ignite the center of your chest with golden light and say aloud with me, I am safe to lead from the heart. I build from the truth. I shine without apology. Returning awareness to your heart, feel the Venus-Jupiter conjunction activating the starlight in your mind. You are being remembered by the sky. You are being spoken back into your multidimensional self. You are expanding into co-creation and allowing your physical body to represent the sacred union of spirit into matter. Venus and Jupiter illuminate the path of joyful expansion. They activate the pleasure of learning, creating, and connecting. They bring abundance through alignment, not striving. We now release the story that we must earn love or value, the split between beauty and intellect, the belief that our joy must be productive, the fear of expressing ourselves imperfectly. With your permission, we now uncreate and destroy all these limitations across all time, space, dimensions, and reality. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. Let every wall fall. Let every code activate. Let every truth rise. Feel a soft, spiraling light enter your throat and your heart. Let Venus soften your voice. Let Jupiter expand your breath. You are magnetized through resonance. Say aloud with me, I trust what brings me joy. My voice is sacred. I am free to receive. Now we consider the Liliths, Chiron and Pluto. Black Moon Lilith whispers in Virgo that your body holds the precision of truth. Listen to it. Asteroid Lilith in Aquarius declares your knowing is collective. You were never meant to walk alone. These archetypes braid together within you: body, soul, voice. They are your lineage of remembrance. We now release the fear of feminine wisdom in all of its forms, the pain of being punished for knowing too much, the suppression of intuition through logic or shame, the split between service and sovereignty. With your permission, we will uncreate and destroy all these limitations across time, space, dimensions, and reality. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, povads, and beyond. Let every wall fall. Let every code activate. Let every truth rise. Feel Lilith recalibrating your nervous system. Feel Black Moon Lilith reconnect you to the grid of wise women and wild truth tellers. Say aloud with me, my body knows. My truth matters. I reclaim the wisdom they tried to erase. Chiron is the wound and the key. The retrograde motion draws you inward to receive the medicine. Chiron in Pisces hums. Your wound is your offering. We now release the illusion that we are broken, the fear of feeling too much, the belief that our pain makes us unworthy, the vow to carry others' suffering at the cost of our own healing. With your permission, we now uncreate and destroy all these limitations across all time, space, dimensions, and reality. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, povads, and beyond. Let every wall fall. Let every code activate. Let every truth rise. Breathe into your heart. Place one hand over it. Feel the waters of Pisces cleanse your inner world. Say aloud with me, my pain is a portal. My healing is holy. I offer my compassion. Mars now steps forward. He is calm, clear, and focused. He offers you a tool of some sort, a staff, a pen, a seed, a sword, a flame. Receive it lovingly in your hand. This is your sacred instrument for precision and creation. Say aloud with me, I use this gift in service of what is true. I act from alignment. I build with love. With this activation, with your tool from Mars, you are ready to enter the Sirius gateway. The sky is large, the air is charged, dawn is rising. And in the east, a radiant guide approaches you, luminous, cloaked in light. They reach out their hand and offer you a key. Receive the key and place it where it belongs, in your hand, in your heart, and in your voice. And as the key turns, the gate opens. You step forward and you look back. With your hands on your heart, say aloud with me, I remember who I am. I release all fear of being seen. I walk with the wisdom of my lineage. I build what the future requires. Breathing in and breathing out. One more deep breath in with me. And as you exhale, smile. When you're ready, open your eyes. You are on the other side. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. Namaste, my friends. All right, how'd that go? Were you guys able to hear it? That was awesome. Cool. All right, well, I'm going to, hopefully you guys heard the whole thing. I'll put a timestamp below so that if you want to hear it again, you can go ahead and just replay the video and go back to the timestamp. Or if you are already a channel member, you can get just the perfectly recorded, uploaded version, if that resonates with you. So stay tuned for a lot of exciting things coming on this channel next week. We'll be talking to some folks. Stellar Foundation's opening. Classes are getting going. It's just great. I'm very excited, and I'm happy that you guys are all on this journey with me. So I will see you all later. Take care. Love you guys.